The UK is a hugely unequal country, and it's getting worse. We're all aware of this. We've seen for decades the super rich getting richer at the expense of others.
He's worth about 12
We
billion.
see every day stories of FTSE 100 CEOs increasing their wealth with 16% pay increases, while our public sector workers are struggling to secure below inflation pay rises. Bills are getting higher, public services are getting weaker, our wages stay the same. But inequality is damaging our society in other ways too. More crime, more addiction, ill health, lower quality of life, lower levels of trust, lower educational attainment. It's centuries worth of political choices that has led us here today. And that means we can choose to do something better.
The big increases in inequality in Britain were in the 1980s. And I think anyone who's lived as an adult through that period and now realizes that our society has become a much more antisocial society. And that is driven by the rise in inequality in the 80s.
I think we all feel that we're living in a broken society, and we can see, visibly the damage caused by inequality. Every time we heard important issues being discussed, inequality wasn't being discussed as a reason, and nobody was campaigning on inequality. There were groups campaigning on poverty and some of the other inequalities that really matter, but there was nobody campaigning to make the UK a more equal place overall.
I think people have become aware that inequality has fundamental effects on the quality of life in our societies, the quality of social relationships. I don't think it's properly understood. But before that, I think people thought inequality didn't matter unless perhaps it created terrible absolute poverty.
I think over the last 10 years, we have seen a change. 10 to 15 years. We've seen inequality discussed more as an issue. We haven't, sadly, seen any really positive changes to UK levels of inequality. But perhaps the understanding of the damaging effects is a necessary first step towards achieving that. And I think it's really important to have hope and to remember that we used to be a more equal society. We can be a more equal society in the future, and the Equality Trust is an important part of that future change, I hope.
Okay, we've just finished our second community reporting session workshop, and it's been really great to see people who have shared their story around inequality in Birmingham to then be on the training, to then go out and collect other stories from people. And one of the things that somebody said at the end of the session was, thank you, Emma, you've given me hope and you're inspiring hope. And I think as an organisation, that's the best thing we can do around what can feel very much like a hopeless situation. The Cost of Inequality Community Reporting Project you've heard it here first, inspires hope for people who can often be in hopeless situations.
Earlier this year, we relaunched the Structural Inequalities Alliance to start challenging the systems which hold us back as a society. Structural inequalities affect everyone, but there is no one single solution, and that's why it's important for us to work across sector, and that is why we need an alliance. Together, we have curated spaces, created resources, and campaigned and promoted social justice and participation. Our work is only just beginning, and we are informed by everyone in the Alliance and those who are most affected.
The next year will be huge for the UK. The wealthy and powerful are fighting to keep control of the systems that have made them obscene profits, but more and more people like you are realising that something has gone wrong and that we need a more equal society. We have a chance to change the direction of the country together. That's why we're asking you to donate now. Your donation will be doubled by match funding. That's double the workshops, rallies, campaigns, double the voice. We need that voice this year.
We know times are tight and budgets are difficult, but if you can support the Equality Trust at this time, you will be helping to protect and promote the health and well-being and the quality of life for everybody in the future.